100%. Hey everybody, watch this review here with my new camera. Also, this happy fellow. Now, recently they've announced the Batman Arkham Asylum action figure line, but in all that there's been one really big omission. And I'm talking about like an 8 or 9 foot tall cannibalistic omission, and that would be the Killer Croc. Fortunately, however, he has actually seen one other release, and although it's not quite the same thing, it's pretty close. This is the Batman Arkham Asylum box set. It was a 4-figure set. Killer Croc. It also came with a repainted Penguin, I believe a Batman, and I can't remember the fourth one. I think it was probably just a Joker or something, but you know, the real standout, of course, would be the Killer Croc, because this was the first time he actually appeared, I believe. Or at least this incarnation of him. You know, for all purposes, this does look a lot like the game version as well. Only real downside is the fact that he's posed into a permanent crouching position, which they do with a lot of larger figures in the DC Direct line. It's a damn shame, because sometimes you want to just really show off how much bigger these guys are compared to the other ones, but let's toss in, you know, the somewhat smaller Batman from the Dark Movie Masters Dark Knight line. And, you know, you can definitely see the size difference here. Although if you go a bit bigger with the actual DC Universe Classics, you have this figure at approximately his full height. You will see that he would be taller if the legs weren't all bow-legged and stuff. So, you know, they definitely did capture the size, even though they tossed him into this ridiculous crouch. Now, this figure has a massive amount of detail. My only real complaint here is that the scales in places look more like feathers or something than scales, or actually leaves. All the same, you know, really impressive sculpt work here. You will notice that for the paint, they have little splatters. Kind of chintzy looking, so they don't really look like mud or anything, or rips in his pants, but on the side they have property ripped off. Assume it'd say property of Arkham Asylum or whatever, but hey. Check out these claws, very awesome. Bandaged arms. And foot claws and more realistic looking scales on the lower body. Upper torso here has a different color. And yes, the head is incredibly articulated. Great range of motion on the neck, because it's on a really distended ball. It goes out pretty far there, so the head will go up a whole distance. It goes down a little bit. Not as much, but as you can see, this is what the joint looks like on the inside. Now let's see if I can't get that back on him. There we go. And then the mouth itself does open to all sorts of colorful poses. Now, I bought this figure loose, and, you know, for all I know, it could also be a bootleg, but I imagine there was originally supposed to be something in there, possibly a tongue. I don't know. I don't really care either, but, you know, a little bit curious. On the bottom, you don't see any space for it, but, who knows. All in all, you know, a very cool addition, especially because it compensates for a clear need for a Killer Croc, especially because he hasn't seen a DC Universe Classics release yet. He had a Superheroes release, but, I mean, neither figure really looked all that great. But, just a quick run-through of articulation before I let you all go. We have rotation here at the wrists, a single joint here at the elbow, good range of motion, shoulder joint here at the waist, legs hinged, no balls, figuratively and literally, because you don't really, I'm not going to even touch that subject. Single joint here at the knee, nothing at ankle. So, I mean, if I have any complaints about this figure, and they are pretty minor, it's just the fact that the body is really pre-sculpted and pre-posed into a certain position, and you can't really get him out of that. You'll notice that the torso is kind of pushed off more towards one side. I mean, it's not that big of an issue. I just really hate the fact that the legs are sculpted in this sort of way, so you really can't get much posability, but you know, the ankle sculpt does look pretty cool, so a little bit of a perk there. I mean, just wish they had done something so his legs wouldn't always be out like that, but he definitely is a imposing and menacing figure, so really can't complain. So yeah, this has been a look at the Batman Arkham Asylum, the 4-pack version or 5-pack, I don't know, version, not the movie version, sorry, game version. Hopefully we will get a game version at some point. I know 2 waves have been announced, despite neither wave being out for, I think they're coming out in January 2011. So I mean, maybe wave 3 we might see Killer Croc, or maybe when they do the waves for the sequel, if Killer Croc appears in the sequel, who knows. But yeah, until next time.